somehow we're okay with sending an 80,000 pound rocket ship down the interstate without anyone in the cab? Okay, I'm a little scared. Welcome to the future. Personally, I'm not into autonomous trucks. It's hard enough stopping a truck in a split second decision. Would an autonomous truck know how to handle that? Would it feel it coming like I did? And I'm sure all the truck drivers out there have a story like that, where you just had a quick think and make a decision and hope for the best. That's why I don't believe in autonomous trucks. Real trucking means long hours, tight docks, and creative problem solving at 2 a.m. AI can't tell stories, only you can. Capture it, post it, teach it, document this turning point. This is going to be history. Welcome back to the Green Couch Chronicles, your truck stop for tech, trucking, creator chaos, and even maybe a little bit conversational coffee talk. Today, we're going to be diving into two subjects that seem miles apart, but under the hood, they are welded together. Picture this: you're driving down the road, drinking lukewarm truck stop coffee, when a semi cruises by and no one's in the cab. There's no CB banter, no tunes, just a cold, blinking light. Welcome to the future. Or if you're more like a tinfoil cowboy, maybe the end? Either way, buckle up. Today we're going to be exploring the wild, slightly terrifying, and absolutely inevitable world of driverless trucks and the AI invasion of freight. All right, here's a little backstory. Kodiak Robotics made waves back in December 2024 when they partnered with Atlas Energy Solutions to run 100 driverless loads over a 21-mile off-road route. It was industrial, it was controlled, but there was no human in the cab. And then came Aurora. In May 2025, Aurora Innovation did the unthinkable. A 200-mile stretch between Dallas and Houston, Texas, and there was no human on board. It was real road, real traffic, real stakes. The rig, it was powered by the Aurora Driver, which is a self-driving system with 300 million autonomous miles behind it. Like no test track, just cold steel going 70 mile per hour down I-45. There was a shadow vehicle that did follow it, but never touched the wheel and didn't intervene with anything. You would say, who partners this? Well, let me tell you. PACCAR, FedEx, Uber Freight, these are big names with big moves. They're eyeing El Paso to Phoenix as the next route. They were both huge milestones, but in different arenas with the same future. Why is this such a big deal? This isn't coming soon. It's already here. Texas is ground zero because it has open highways, looser regulations, and industrial backing. But let's remember there's zero humans in the cab, no wheel grab, no backup driver. Just imagine you're still a trucker, but now you wear a headset like an air traffic controller. Still in the game, but not behind the wheel. Are we ready for that? Here's what truckers are saying. You have your skeptical ones that are like, oh, let me see it back into that sketchy dock with that tight turnaround. I'll be impressed. And then you have your curious ones that are like, ooh, does this mean more regional jobs for us and more home time? And then you have your cautious ones. I hope that shadow driver has good brakes for when the AI truck eats a tumbleweed at 70 miles per hour. All right, AI is not gunning for every job, but here is what it's after. Terminal to terminal hauls, prime AI territory. Urban deliveries? Not yet. There's too much chaos. Human intensive loads like hazmat, flatbed, and customer based runs? That's still human powered, but not for long. So, what's the plan? It's a hub to hub model. AI does the highways, and humans handle the docks and the urban jungle. Meanwhile, companies like Optimal Dynamics and Keep Truckin' are using AI too. They're cutting empty miles, They're saving fuel, predicting maintenance, and they match loads better. Even load boards are getting AI-ified. You might not even see certain jobs unless the algorithm thinks that you're a good match. Did you know that US DOT says that AI could slash freight costs by over 20% over the next decade? That's billions saved. But who's keeping that money? There's going to be a high demand for regional and that final mile driver, and cities are still human only zones for right now. Long term, drivers are going to be getting trained in remote ops, fleet tech, and AI diagnostics. The upside is less backbreaking work, more predictable hours, and better pay. But the downside is there's going to be more screen time, less freedom. Basically, the rigs are becoming rolling cubicles. But if you're a driver and a creator, oh, this is your golden era. Real trucking means long hours, tight docks, and creative problem solving at 2 a.m. AI can't tell stories, only you can. Capture it, post it, teach it, document this turning point. This is going to be history. Personally, I'm not into autonomous trucks. It's hard enough to stop a loaded truck in a split second when chaos happens. Let me tell you a true story. I was driving down a hill and I had 4 pallets in my trailer. It sounds light, but it messes with your weight distribution, which then messes with your control a little bit. But anyways, I see this guy sitting in the median, and I was passing a car on my right-hand side, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." Like, I just had a gut feeling. And about the time that we locked eyes, this little pickup truck pulls out into my lane, and I lay on the air horn, and he, like, tries to get off onto the shoulder, but there's not much shoulder at all. And I don't know if this guy knew what was happening or if he just had a gut feeling himself. But just as I swerved, he swerved, and gracefully we just kind of danced with each other, all three of us. And somehow there was no accident, not even a little rub and touch, nothing like that. But I tell you what, my heart was pounding so fast, I had to pull onto the shoulder just to catch my breath. Would an autonomous truck know how to handle that? Would it feel it coming like I did? And I'm sure all the truck drivers out there have a story like that, where you just had a quick think and make a decision and hope for the best. That's why I don't believe in autonomous trucks. All right, here's the part of the headlines that nobody's talking about. Let's talk about the boring, the unsexy, but the necessary part of trucking: daily inspections, pre trip, post trip. Every driver knows that before you hit the road, you literally have to knock your tires, like physically knock them. You have to check your brakes, your lights, make sure your engine's still there. No, I'm kidding, there's more to it. Make sure your airlines are good and your brakes aren't going to lock up 5 seconds down the road. Just make sure everything is perfect because safety is important. Now, who's going to do that for the AI trucks? Because I can guarantee that a LiDAR sensor is not catching a blowout at 3 a.m. during a rainstorm, unless it's already mid-explosion. And when things go sideways, ain't no algorithm gonna pull it on the shoulder to check to make sure that big pop wasn't the tire that blew. Where do these trucks even sleep? Parking is already a blood sport at night. You roll into a truck stop after 7 p.m., good luck. So now we're going to be tossing in driverless ghost trucks that aren't even going to be buying a cheeseburger. Do they even stop overnight? I don't know. Do they reserve spots? Because you can do that too. Do they park at terminals or are they just chilling at rest areas like luxury lawn equipment? I tell you what, if they're going to be parking at already scarce truck parking, you best believe that drivers are going to be raising hell. And let's talk about the truck stops. They rely on foot traffic, from fuel ups to meals to showers and gear. And without trucks and without drivers, there's no cash flow. Could we be staring down a trucker apocalypse? Here's another one to think about: way stations. All trucks are required to stop at way stations unless they have the pre-pass transponders. Even then, DOT pulls in random trucks, for roadworthiness inspections. So, do AI trucks get the same treatment, or do they just keep cruising like they're too pretty to be audited? And let's not forget that Tesla is still reckoned to emergency vehicles and trains, and they have to have drivers in the vehicle. But somehow we're okay with sending an 80,000-pound rocket ship down the interstate without anyone in the cab? Okay, I'm a little scared. And those docks, they barely function on a good day. It's a lot of human interaction. They never have their appointment time set. So who's going to be arguing with the receiver when they're falling asleep or rejecting their load? How's AI going to finesse that? No human to answer the phone, no one to sign BOLs, and no one to grab those extra straps with those sketchy loads. If trucking's taught me one thing, it's always expect the unexpected. Nothing ever goes as planned. And if anything unexpected happens with those AI trucks, they're dead in the water. So, should you be worried? Maybe. But also laughably skeptical. Until an AI can drag chains, deal with dispatch drama, and still find a parking spot next to a reefer that won't scream all night, it's not replacing you. But it is changing what your job looks like. You're not being replaced tomorrow. But if you want to be around in 2030, it's time to upskill. Learn GPS logic, fleet diagnostics, remote driving support, and AI assisted dispatching. The most valuable drivers in the next decade will be those that know how to drive and decode the tech. In my opinion, AI is not just showing up, it's showing off, but the steering wheel is not gone yet. The industry is changing, but us truckers, we are survivors. We've been through so much from deregulation to ELD drama, diesel hikes, you name it. Whether you're on the road or on the dashboard, there's still a place for you if you're paying attention. The trucks may be driving themselves soon, but it's still your story. Tell it. On a side note, if you've seen a driverless rig in the wild, let me know down below. And give me your opinions on what you think about the autonomous trucking. Are you for it? Are you against it? What's your thoughts? Until next time, just remember it's high stakes, high tech, and high potential.